Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video we are going to talk about a guinea pig starter guide. Now initially I was thinking of breaking it up into two different videos. One doing a guinea pig starter kit when you first get a guinea pig and what you should get. And then I was going to do a separate video on what you should get in your emergency kit. But I decided we're going to combine the two and we're going to do a guinea pig starter guide, which will include items to have in your emergency kit, your emergency health kit. So for starters, if you haven't already gotten guinea pigs and you're thinking of getting guinea pigs, then that's perfect. You're watching this video in perfect timing. However, if you have already gotten your guinea pigs and you're using a small little pet store cage, I'm going to link some videos in the iCards. You can feel free to watch them now or watch them at the end, but if you watch them now, make sure you come back to this video to finish watching the rest. So, basic starter information. 1 to 2 guinea pigs require minimum of 8 square feet. Naturally, you want to make sure you have a water bottle or water bowl. Most people opt to use a pellet bowl, and some people opt to use a veggie bowl. Some people have hay bags, hay racks. There's a lot that are not safe, so we will talk about that in another video. But for today, we're going to start with the basics. You want to make sure you have your safe cage for them to be in. You want to choose a bedding that will work with your lifestyle. Never mind what's popular and what everyone else uses. Figure out what works for your lifestyle. Trial and error is how you figure this out, and then you learn from there. So quickly, we'll review safe bedding. Aspen, kiln-dried pine. It has to say kiln-dried. Paper bedding such as Carefresh or fleece liners. Now you can't use just a cheap fleece blanket and that's it. That's not going to work. Fleece is what wicks the urine through, so you still need an absorbent layer underneath. So you can use an old towel, you can use Zorb, or you can even use U-Haul padding. I personally prefer pre-made fleece liners that contains 2 layers of fleece with U-Haul pads sewn in the middle. So let's go over the items that I feel you should have in a guinea pig emergency health kit. So the number one item, if you haven't already guessed it, it might be critical care. Critical Care is by Oxbow. It's just their brand. There are other brands out there such as Sherwood and Emerade, like E-M-E-R and then aid, like emergency aid. What it is emergency food. If your guinea pigs stop eating, you're going to need to create this food soup, as some people like to call it, and you need to syringe feed them. Sorry. So you want to have critical care in your emergency kit. Now, if in a pinch you don't have critical care, but your guinea pig has stopped eating, you can make a DIY critical care in a pinch. We could talk about that another time. There's also, I believe, a video I've done about that too. And if I haven't, comment down below, let me know, and we'll do that. We'll make one. So the next item that you should have is a pediatric electrolyte, such as Pedialyte. You want to get one that is preferably one with no flavor. And what it is that if ever your guinea pig is not feeling well, they're not drinking, they're dehydrated, you can give them a bit of Pedialyte and that will provide the electrolytes to hopefully give them that energy that they need in their body to recover. So now, the third item, you guessed it, is going to be 1 ml syringes. Now, you can typically get 1 ml, 5 ml, 10 ml, whatever amount, usually given from your local pharmacy. However, I prefer to order a big box from Amazon. It's not that expensive, and it's always good to have it on hand. I don't really like to reuse my oral syringes, so having a big box really comes in handy because I've got 14 guinea pigs. So if I have one guinea pig that's sick, once they've recovered or whatever the outcome ends up being, those syringes get recycled or thrown out, and then I have fresh, clean ones to use for the next guinea pig when and if it's needed. So our fourth item is liquid vitamin C. Now, the most common brand is Child's Life, but sometimes when you live in a different country, you can't obtain Child's Life vitamin C, so you might have an off brand. But typically you want it to be a children's liquid vitamin C, not the Vita drops that you put in water. This is just a strict ascorbic acid, basically. Comes in a bottle, usually a brown bottle, and you would just give 1 ml to your guinea pig, and that's a full daily dose. Typically, I've done a video about this as well, talking about scurvy and pseudo-scurvy, so I'm not going to get too much into that right now, but if you're giving a proper, adequate diet, you shouldn't have to supplement, but it's still good to have on hand because if your guinea pig gets sick, you want to increase the vitamin C so that they have more chance of recovering better. So the next item that we should have on hand is antibiotic eye drops, such as terramycin. Terramycin is just a brand name. It is pet safe, but there are others out there. I just can't think of the name off the top of my head because I had it in the shopping cart on my Amazon wish list to get, or not my Amazon wish list, but on the Amazon cart. And then when I had the money to order it, they were out of stock. So I can't remember the title of it, but it's essentially terramycin. There's a specific ingredient made in terramycin that as long as the antibiotic eye drop has that specific ingredient, it should be safe to use. So we can talk further about that in another video. Next is going to be either, well, basically an antibiotic ointment, such as polysporin or neosporin. If your guinea pig gets like a little scratch, a little wound, you can apply a thin little layer over the wound and it helps get rid of the bacteria. It helps promote healing. Next item on the list that you should have is Epsom salts. Epsom salts are great if your guinea pig happens to get bumblefoot, or even if they get a bit of urine scald. It'll help promote healing, and it's just something that's always good to have on hand. And you know what? Sometimes you can even use it for yourself and gives yourself a nice relaxing bath. The next item is Manuka honey. Manuka honey is another antimicrobial substance. It's great for guinea pigs that have really bad bumblefoot. I've heard a lot of great feedback about it. I personally have not gotten any yet, but it is on the to-get list. The next item is baby gas drops. If your guinea pig ever gets into stasis or experiences bloat, having baby gas drops can help relieve some of that pain, but in no means is it ever a replacement of going to the vet. If your guinea pig gets a severe case of bloat, you're going to need to go to the vet. You're going to have to get motility medication and pain medication, and just know it's good to have on hand, but it's not a replacement. So the next item that you should have on hand is betadine. Betadine is good to disinfect any kind of wound or I'm drawing a blank here. We'll leave it as it's good to disinfect any kind of wound. Next item to have is saline solution. Saline solution is basically like a salt water. You can use it if your guinea pig ever gets a hay poke. I always recommend using saline solution first to rinse out the eye. It'll hopefully help kind of loosen any debris that might be in the eye, whether it's a piece of hay or dust or whatever. And then that's where the antibiotic eye drops would come into play, because after using a saline solution, you would use like a terramycin or the antibiotic eye drop, and that will help heal the eye. The next item to have is a probiotic, such as Banabac. It comes in a pen form, which is like a gel or paste, but they also have a powdered form. I've never used the powdered form. I've only ever used the gel pen one, and I find it works absolutely great if your guinea pig ever experiences any kind of gut issue where they're just not pooping right, or whatever the situation might be. Anytime if they're on an antibiotic, you want to give the probiotic an hour before or an hour after, and it helps replace the good gut bacteria that gets stripped from antibiotics. So another item that you should have is ivermectin or kitten revolution. Yes, I said kitten revolution. In Canada, ivermectin is not FDA approved, so we cannot obtain it easily at all without going to like the vet. And even then, they would prescribe kitten revolution. What ivermectin will do is prevent lice, mites, and internal parasites. And I actually do have it. I got mine from the Los Angeles Guinea Pig Rescue website about a year ago. I want to say about a year ago. Maybe a little more than that. And I did not know until recent that it's not FDA approved in Canada. So that means if I ever order it again from the LA Guinea Pig Rescue and Customs decides to open up the package, it's going to get seized and I will never receive the product. So for any of my Canadian followers or subscribers, just be mindful of that if you choose to order that product through the LA Guinea Pig Rescue. But ivermectin will treat lice, mites, and internal parasites, but it will also help prevent it if used every 3 months, and it's got to be used appropriately. There is a horse warmers paste version, and then there's the liquid. It's a liquid that they call it injectable, but we don't inject it in the guinea pig. What we would do is put it topically, a little drop behind the ear every 3 months. Seems pretty simple. So the next item that you should absolutely have, and I'd be shocked if you don't, is Q-tips or cotton balls. Anytime your guinea pig gets like a wound, or even if you want to just clean their ears out, Q-tips come in handy. Now when you're cleaning ears, you don't want to go in the ear all the way. You just do the outer part, like right here. Just the outer part. But Q-tips and cotton balls can be a safe way to apply an antibiotic ointment on top of a wound. And so I'd be surprised if you don't already have that product. I know I do. So item number, I'm going to say 15, maybe it's 16. I don't know. I lost track. But the next item to have is activated charcoal. If your guinea pig ever has diarrhea, it's important to have activated charcoal on hand because it works wonders. Don't ask me how it works because I don't know, and knock on wood, I've never had to give activated charcoal to my guinea pigs, but I've heard a lot of positive stories about using it. And usually within 24 hours, it's supposed to help improve and clear things up. If by 24 hours your guinea pig still has diarrhea, book it to your emergency vet. Don't delay. So, the next item that I think you should have on hand will also depend on what choice of bedding you decide to use. If you, on a regular basis, use disposable bedding, then I would recommend you have old towels and fleece on hand as an emergency backup in case you ever need to quickly get to an emergency vet. If you have your carrier, you can quickly place a towel and a fleece blanket on there or in there, and then just poof, out the door and get to your vet. Makes it easy so you don't have to shuffle around with disposable bedding and make a mess everywhere. But if you use fleece as a regular thing, I mean, it's always good to have that around. But I would then recommend that you keep disposable bedding on hand, because you never know when your washing machine is going to break on you. So, the next item that we all should have and want to have is, there you go. Not that. Come on. Nail clippers. Now, these are my nail clippers. I don't use these ones on the guinea pigs. But you want to have nail clippers for trimming their nails. And I usually recommend, I do recommend getting the bigger size, the like toenail clippers, because the opening is a lot wider. Sorry. But yeah, the larger nail clippers is a lot wider, so it'll be easier to stick their nail in and clip. I also like using the little scissor type. I can't show you that right now because that's upstairs. And let's see, moving along. The next item you should have, that everybody should have, keyword is should, is CBD. It could be the CBD cream done by Mary's, I believe, or it could be a CBD oil, but the cream works a lot more efficiently compared to the CBD oil. So what the CBD does, it's good for helping with inflammation for guinea pigs with arthritis. It also helps to calm them down before getting nail trims, because, you know, our guinea pigs are such drama queens and kings. And it's good if your guinea pig kind of gets anxious or nervous about anything, you know, whether it's going to the vet or just traveling to the vet or whatever the situation might be. It's good to have CBD on hand. Sorry about that. The next item to have on hand is a frozen water bottle or ice pack. If your guinea pig ever gets overheated or it's just really, really warm where you're going or where you are, having an ice pack or a frozen water bottle, you can put a sock over the bottle, or the ice pack you can put underneath the bath mat or fleece pad, whichever you use. And then that way guinea pigs can sit on it or lay against it if they're too warm, and they can walk away when they're getting too chilled. So that is okay too. The final item that you should absolutely have in your emergency kit is a ton, like a ton of hay on hand. Now some of you are probably thinking, I only have 2 guinea pigs, why do I need that much hay? What if your heating source decides to fail you for any given reason, and you live in a northern hemisphere where the weather gets very harsh and cold You don't want your guinea pigs to freeze. Providing lots and lots of hay that they can burrow into will help keep them warm, and it's also their food. So not only would you be providing food, heat source, and enrichment all in one go with one item. So although the last item is not really an emergency kit item, it's my recommendation. So I hope you found this video useful, and comment down below if you have any questions, and if you have any questions, I will either respond or make a video about it. All right, everyone, until next time, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, feel free, no, don't feel free to, please do subscribe, because I got lots of upcoming great video content coming out this year. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, click the thumbs up if you like this video, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye.